AMD at $100. Opportunity, no-brainer, or catching a falling knife? Well, on the falling knife part, first of all, catching a falling knife is used for traders, usually. You can use it, of course, for long-term investors as well, but usually long-term investors will tell you that the reason why they buy a certain stock at a certain price is because they believe that the value they're getting today at today's price, even if it drops a little bit more, makes sense to them because in the future the company will be worth much more. Traders catching a falling knife is usually when a stock during the day drops 5-10% or so, no real buying activity, and you're trying to catch that bottom to make another 2 or 3% if the stock does rebound. But as a trader, if the stock does not rebound, usually you get kicked out of your position. So no, in my opinion, we are not, or me personally, I am not catching a falling knife when I'm buying AMD at $100 when I bought AMD at $110 because I liked AMD at $110. I'm loving AMD at $100 and below. Now, we actually have more positive news when it comes to AMD, and it might actually be great news for the gaming segment, which was struggling and has been struggling for over a year. Might also cause some trouble at Nvidia. More on that in just a second. Before we advance with our money destroyer, if you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, we really appreciate that. If you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment with the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to food.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. Now, with AMD, as you know, in the last 3 years, this stock has basically done nothing, right? It's down 9.8%. Of course, if we zoom out even more, that's fine. Okay, we're up 116% in the last 5 years. But in the last year, this stock is basically cut in half, right? Last year performance, we're down 50%. Luckily for me, I only started to buy more recently, but unluckily for me, I'm already down 8% or so on my position. But looking at AMD today, the whole company, a market cap of $161.8 billion, the forward PE, the growth rates, everything that you want to see here, to me, I see value. If I listen to Lisa Su, if I look at their future plans, I see value at the prices today. Maybe I might be delusional, maybe, and I might be here in another bag holding position. Could be, but in my eyes, I think I will comfortably outperform the market many, many years from now if I keep holding AMD. Now, I do want to touch on the gaming side of things because I know that when we talk about AMD, we usually only talk about the AI revenue, the data center revenue, because that is now the biggest chunk of the revenue and of the profits. And of course, everybody's focused just on that. The fact that we didn't get AI revenue guidance, the last earnings call, was basically the reason why the stock went down. But AMD has other good segments inside their business. The client side of things is doing quite well. Gaming and embedded have been headwinds. Okay, let's not lie about that. Gaming and embedded have been headwinds, but those headwinds will turn into tailwinds later this year. If you look at the overall portfolio for AMD, they fully expect every single segment to do quite well for the whole year. Now, with gaming specifically, revenue declined year over year as the accelerated channel sellout in preparation for the launch of their next-gen Radeon 9000 series GPUs, which we're going to talk about in just a bit. Our focus with this generation is to address the highest volume portion of the enthusiast gaming market with our new RDNA 4 architecture. RDNA 4 delivers significantly better ray tracing performance. By the way, this is a transcript error. It's ray tracing, not rate tracing. And add support for AI-powered upscaling technology that will bring high-quality 4K gaming to mainstream players when the first Radeon 97 series GPUs go on sale in early March. Now, why is this important? Well, thanks to our friends at Gamer Nexus and John Petty Research, we can see what has happened with market share in the GPU market, in the gaming market here more specifically. So in 2022, AMD had 16.8% share, Nvidia 81.9%. Then in 2023, AMD took a little bit more market share, 17.17%. But look at what has happened in 2024. It lost a lot of share. It's now at only 10%, whereas Nvidia at 90%. And we can actually see this here. Look at AMD's gaming revenue in 2021, $5.6 billion. Then in 2022, $6.8 billion. Then $6.2 billion in 2023. And look at 2024. only $2.59 billion. The client segment also peaked here in 21. 22 was okay, but already down. Then another down year in 2023, but look at what has happened in 2024. I think with gaming, we're going to see the same rebound. Maybe not as aggressive as the client side, but we're definitely going to get a rebound starting in the second half of 2025. Looking at operating income for gaming, I mean, this is what you got right now in 2024 operating income wise. $290 million. Imagine if we can get back to the 900 and just let's call it $900 million. Not bad, no? That's another, $600 million in operating income from one segment. Not bad in my opinion. Why is it not bad? Well, if you look at the expected growth rate for revenue for AMD, it's expected to grow quite quickly in the coming fiscal years. And looking at free cash flow for 2024, fiscal 24, yes, increased tremendously, 114.5% to $2.4 billion. But look at what's expected to happen after that. $6.77 billion in 2025. That's a 181.7% increase. Then another 16.9% increase in 2026, and then another 43% increase in fiscal year 2027 to $11.32 billion. So quite an acceleration in growth for free cash flow. Of course, a lot of that will be thanks to the data center side of things, MI350, MI400 launching in 2026, of course. But the fact that you can have other segments help you out with revenue growth and free cash flow growth should not be understated. Now, going back to that recent announcement. So they had an event last week talking about the Radeon 9000 series. So what are they focused on? Well, they say here very, very plain and simply, focusing on what gamers want, more accessible. 85% of gamers buy GPUs that are under $700. And currently, there are more gamers that are buying 4440p and 4K displays. Why is this important? Well, it's important because if you've known or if you looked a little bit at the market for GPUs nowadays, well, you're going to pay much more than this. Way more, right? The NVIDIA GPUs are going for quite a lot more money than $700. You can sometimes find it in the thousands and thousands of dollars, which, let's be honest, the average gamer doesn't need that. The average gamer doesn't need that. The average gamer wants a good GPU with good performance at an affordable price. So AMD here not trying to compete with the top of the line NVIDIA GPUs, but competing here for mass market, which is 85% of the gamers, in my opinion, is the right move. A good product at a highly competitive price is the way to go. Now, what do they give us? Well, first up, we have the Radeon RX 9070 for $549. Also, by the way, giving you 16 gigs of memory. They then compare it to the RX 7900 GRE at 4K ultra settings. What do you get here? 21% faster gaming on average across 30 games. Now, we have the number 2 here. RX 9070 XT at $599. So basically a $50 difference here as well. By the way, both of them 16 gigs of memory. Okay, both of them 16 gigs of memory, and here overall you're getting a little bit more performance for that extra $50. Here as well they compare it to the RX 7900 GRE. Here you're getting 42% faster gaming across all of these titles on average at 4K ultra settings. And by the way, they said something very interesting during that conference. Good hardware needs good software, and that's exactly what RDNA 4 is bringing to the table. And then the interesting part is comparing the RX 9070 XT to the RTX 5070 Ti at 4K ultra settings. What you can see here, now you're going to tell, oh, but look at this. It's down 2% compared to the RX 5070 Ti in gaming across those, 30 titles. Yes, but all in all, if you look at the gaming performance per dollar, you're getting 23% more. And this is the selling point. This is the selling point, that you're getting, for your dollars, more performance. And this, in my opinion, is what gets AMD back to more and more market share. They ended by showing us the ultimate gaming platform for gamers everywhere. So you've got the Ryzen 9000 series, you've got the Radeon RX 9000, world's best GPU under $600, AMD FSR 4, so ML upscaling in over 30 titles at launch, and of course more will be added in the future. And then the last thing here is AMD software, features, performance, and stability. Now, of course, the software side of things is what we've been talking about when AMD wants to compete with NVIDIA, the NVIDIA Blackwells and all of that. But if you look at what they're able to do right now in the gaming space, I'm pretty confident that with the MI350, 355, MI400, the software will definitely be highly competitive with their hardware compared to NVIDIA's product. That's not to say that suddenly they're going to beat NVIDIA across the board. No, they just need to be way more competitive for them to actually take a little bit of market share and grow faster than the others. And by the way, we as the consumer, the more competition, the better it is for us. Now, last two things here, a quick reverse DCF. So we've looked at the free cash flow for fiscal 2024, so that was only $2.4 billion. Now, to look at the implied growth rate to justify today's price, around $99, $100 or so, free cash flow will need to grow at 19.6% each and every year for the next 10 years. Now, what we've seen is that by fiscal 27, which is 3 fiscal years removed from where we are right now, it's already above $11.2 billion in free cash flow. Now, if we look at the $11.2 billion in free cash flow, when is that expected to be reached here? Between year 8 and year 9. So the expected growth rate today, 19.6, to me is very much achievable and could actually be a bit higher than that, which is why I started to say at the start of this video that no, I am not trying to catch a falling knife because I am trying to hold AMD for the long run, and I like the business $10 ago, I'm liking the business today. And if we go lower, well, that means that I can buy more shares of a great company, and those shares will of course give me more and more upside in the future. Plus, if you like, we can look at the chart right now. Of course, we are underneath that uptrend line, which is on the technical thing, not that great. RSI, by the way, is oversold. And now we are in an area where previously here, although previously we did go at around $95 or so, was twice a bottom. Could this be a higher low? Maybe. I mean, it remains to be seen, but right now I don't like this catching knife type of thing, because again, I'm not trying to catch here one candle and then sell the other green candle. No, I'm trying to get as many shares as possible, and if the price continues to be cheaper and cheaper, I'll just accumulate more and more. Of course, it only works if you have cash on the side. It doesn't work if you buy once, you have no cash left, and then it drops 10, 15, 20% or so, and well, you cannot bring your average down. I agree. You have to have cash on the side. But all in all, this catching knife thing to me is just, well, not that accurate when we look at a company like AMD. Maybe that's just me. Of course, do share your thoughts down in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, do all of that, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.